こいのいい加減諦めんか。他にも人がいる。
When it comes to Terra, but overall, Terra is a pretty good MMORPG. I'm sad to say, that it disappeared on PC a few years back now. I personally wish the PC version would have stayed around and it and the consoles would have all, combined into one big mega server and became as one. That was my true hope for this game one day, but it never came to pass. But they did combine the servers on the console platforms, and they're still supporting the game even here in 2024. Now, while it's not the support that a lot of us are hoping for, they still are bringing content to the game, messing around with the meta and stuff like that, and, just doing little things here and there to try and keep the game fresh. But they could be doing a lot more. So let me talk to you guys about, what's going on with Tera console and stuff like that. So if you don't know, Tera is available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. You can also play it on the current gen consoles, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. I highly recommend, if you own a PS5, play Tera on PS5. That is the best console to play it on. The reason being is because for some odd reason that's still not fixed until this very day, Tera has an uncapped frame rate on PS5. It runs 120 FPS on PS5, whether you own a 120 Hz monitor or not. Now, the reason I believe you should play that is because that is a very buttery smooth, clean picture, especially for an MMORPG with a lot of particle effects and everything like Tera. And even if you don't own a 120 Hz monitor, you're still going to, see those frame rate benefits. You're not going to see how, how good 120 Hz looks per se, but you're definitely going to experience, a good frame rate that's better than, 60 and below. You'll be seeing, 120 and below, which is, a lot better than 60 and lower. So I highly suggest, if you own a PS5, play Tera on PS5. That's a no-brainer. You're seeing Xbox Series X gameplay here on the screen, but I would highly recommend playing it on PlayStation 5 if you own a PS5. Some of the biggest problems with Tera console are, the first and biggest most issue is Tera does not have good marketing, and not really any at all. The Twitter account for it and the Facebook, there's very long periods of time between posts. They really only post when, they're getting ready to add a new season or battle pass, or if they make some dungeon changes and stuff like that. Tera has not had good marketing since it was published by Enmass Entertainment, and that was years ago. I'm talking, like 2018, 2019, when that was going on. Tera hasn't had great marketing for, a very, very long time, and it doesn't get a lot of trailers. Bluehole doesn't do much of, or if any, advertising for it and everything at all, and that's one thing that hurts the game. They actually have Tera in a good place, but they don't show it. They add new outfits. They do occasional things. They haven't really added any new dungeons. They've swapped a few out here and there. I don't know why they do that. They'll remove dungeons sometimes, then bring them back later, or change some things about them. I don't know why they do that. It's just weird. I have no clue, and I honestly don't look into it much, but I don't understand it. So maybe if I did look into that a bit more, I would, but I don't get why they're always swapping the dungeons out with the game. They do add new battle passes. There's always new outfits coming and stuff, which, I'm not going to lie, would be a turn off to some people. Oh, you guys are adding things to make money, but you're not adding any more, any more true content. And one other thing about Tera console also as well is, if you're a long-time veteran level 65 player, you can actually log in right now and get a free set of Stormcry gear. That's literally what I'm rocking in this video. I'm talking Stormcry weapon and everything. And as long as you take the gear and get it, I believe, all the pieces to +1, you permanently keep the pieces. You just have to upgrade each piece one time, and you own those pieces. And that'll get you to gear score, I believe, like 448, 450, something like that. Now, the current meta for gear score, I think, in Tera is like somewhere between 480, 490. That's how you can run some of the highest content in the game and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. But getting some Stormcry gear for free, that's a pretty good deal, especially if you're a Terra veteran and you know how hard Stormcry was to get back in the day. Yeah, I would take some free Stormcry. But anyway, back to the issues. Like I was saying, the marketing isn't good for the game, which overall, affects the player base and stuff like that. They haven't been too great with adding content. They do put things in to keep you busy, give you stuff to grind and things like that. They do add, there is higher tier gear and stuff like that, and battle passes and things to add to the game. But they're not, giving you much new content along with it, to make that grind even more fun. If we had some fresh, brand new dungeons to farm these battle passes or newer gear sets and things like that, that would probably make the grind a bit more interesting. Third thing about Terra that, I just think is a bad thing is there's always the fear that, it's going to be shut down. Just because, it started as a PC game, they ended up eventually giving up on that version. Console's only been here for a few years. It looks like it's on its last legs. The player